Hi and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about 5 reasons to buy a Dinky js32 and 3 reasons you might not want to. Okay, the first reason you might want to is it's a very solid construction and the finish is very nice. So the overall build on this, it's held up great for the last year. The finish looks just like it did the day I bought it. I played this a lot. The binding, the frets, everything on it's pretty much just like the day I bought it. So the construction on this is very nice, especially for the money. Now, number 2, it's a very comfortable guitar. The little thinner body, lighter weight. This one I think was 7.2 or 7.6 pounds. The contours, the thinner neck, compound radius. It's just a very comfortable guitar to play. So definitely a reason to consider buying it. Okay, the third reason are the pickups. The factory ceramic humbuckers are high output and they work great with distortion and they clean up very nicely. Very usable pickups. Okay, number 4 is that these guitars come good to go out of the box. They're ready to play. You don't need to upgrade them. You obviously can, but mine and everyone I've talked to, whether they bought it from Sweetwater, Guitar Center, doesn't matter. They were ready to play out of the box and they've been very happy with them. Everyone has had the same experience I've had, at least that I've talked to. So that's been great. Alright, number 5. This is a whole lot of guitar for the money. From the locking setup, to humbuckers, to the contoured body, to having binding on the neck, to having the shark tooth inlay, or excuse me, shark fin inlays. You've got a compound radius, a thin, I think they just call it a speed neck, a painted headstock. This guitar, for the money, is very, very nice. And considering all the basic features hold up very well, the fretwork and everything, it's a whole lot of guitar for the money. Now let's talk about the 3 things I don't like about this guitar and 3 reasons you might consider not buying it. Now this is assuming that you're already okay with the lighter weight, the compound radius, stuff like that, and that you're looking for a guitar with a locking setup. On that note, they do make a version of this that has a standard 2-point tremolo, and right now I believe it's $150 less than this one. It was a $100 difference. However, they've gone up on the JS32s, I believe $50 recently. So just keep that in mind. There is a version of this that does not have the locking tremolo system. Okay, now for the 3 reasons you might not want to buy the guitar, or at least something to consider when you're buying it. Be very aware of this. Number 1 is the nut. It's just bad. It was functional, but the blocks, I did change mine to a Floyd Rose, but the blocks right here would spin just a little bit side to side when you were tightening and loosening them. So it just didn't feel right when you worked on it. It didn't look right. So I did replace mine. I believe it cost $28. Made a huge difference when setting it up. I definitely recommend it. Number 2 is the tuners. Several of them, they don't move very well. They can turn and turn and nothing happens, and then they start jumping. I don't know, they're just a really bad set of tuners. They may not all be this way, but the ones on this guitar, about the worst that I've ever seen. They do work. They are functional, but you've got to be a little bit patient with them. Number 3 is the tremolo system. Now this is not a bad tremolo. The sticking point are the fine tuners. They can be a little bit not as fine as they should be. I don't want to say sticky because they're not sticky, but they can be a little rough when turning them. But they work. I've dive bombed with this just like crazy. I've had a lot of fun with it. But it's a lesser tremolo. The one on the Ibanez, as well as of course any Floyd Rose Special or above, are all better than this. But again, for the money, this works just fine, and when replacing the nut and keeping this, it works even better. So it's not that it's a bad trim system, it's just not great. First time users might not enjoy the experience as much. It might turn them off of using a locking tremolo system, especially if they've never used a real Floyd Rose and felt how smooth they can be. But again, it's not that it doesn't work, it's just not, it may not be the best experience for a first time user. But it's definitely not as bad as the nut or the tuners. But those are the 3 reasons you may not want to buy the guitar. But again, they do have a less expensive version, I believe it's the JS22, that does not have the locking tremolo system, so you will still have the tuners, and I would imagine they're the same tuners. But other than that, this guitar has been fantastic. I can't think of anything else to complain about. It's a great guitar for the money, and those are really the only issues. So that is the JS32 Dinky. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content, please click like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to stay notified. Leave me some comments and suggestions. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep playing.